People in the venue, can you hear me? All right, everybody. We're going to give it a few minutes, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, for everybody to come in and gather into the space. Let's all gather. And we'll get started very, very soon.
Hey now, what you wondering about? I'm feeling kinda lonely in this world of doubt. Hey now, what you thinking about? Been feeling kinda frazzled in this world of life. Hey now, been trying to find the meaning to the words.
People from outside, let's come in.
I've been told.
Everybody from outside, let's come in, let's come in.
Is it so?
It's warm in here. All cool if, you know, that's what you want.
In colors bright, the sight so blinding even unto open eyes. Now be the guide and shine your light. Just smash the stars, go ahead, you know your colors bright. I've been told, I've been told, I've been told, but is it so? Is it so? Hey now, no compromise. Procrastination's gonna fail you more than twice. Keep it coming, don't fret nothing. The cold wall, let it go. Just let it go. I said keep it coming, don't fret nothing, the cold wall, let it go. Like hey, yeah, oh. Hey, yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody, hello. How's everybody doing? Let me hear wood. Let me hear wood. Not wood. Wood. But with an accent like wood. Let me hear wood. All right, I just complicated it. You can go back to wood, it's fine. Let me hear wood. All right, a bunch of woodpeckers, I love it. Everybody, welcome to the space. This is the final day. I don't know where she's disappeared off to, but we have our great DJ today, Ninja X. Could you hear it for Ninja? You know, if she was there, she would have done the because, you know, when DJs are acknowledged, they gotta. So everybody, yeah, welcome to the final day. My name is Paige. I am a local poet as well, and I do this job also of calling other poets onto the stage sometimes. And I am so happy to have all of you. Thank yourselves for being here. Give yourselves a big round of applause, everybody. Lovely stuff. Oh, the show just started. Oh wow. Okay, I'm happy to have everybody here. Everybody, we're gonna have poets from the open mic. We're gonna have poets from the competitions that we've been running as well, and we're gonna have every poet who performed this week who is in this space today. Are people excited? Yeah. All right, let me hear more excitement. There we go. Lovely stuff. I think we're ready to get it started. Let's give the biggest round of applause and energy we can to our first poet. She registered on the open mic. Please, everybody, put your hands together for Unompilo.
Greetings, everybody. Can you please adjust the mic for me? Yeah, thank you. I'll very take. Greetings, everybody. My name is Nkululeko. I will be reading a poem titled Ukungalaleli Akubuyiseli. Ukungalaleli akubuyiseli. Ziqophisana nothisha, alibeke zilibeke, akhuze zigigitheke, zigigitheka olwasemfuleni, ziqhubeke nokungalawuleki, zime ngokuthi zinamalungelo. Iziyalo zishaywa indiva, zingoqanda chofoka bangashaywa, zinikwa imisebenzi yesikole zingayenzi, zilibele ukushada nomakhalekhukhwini, zishade lishone liphume, zishade lishone liphume, zingosaziwayo ezinkundleni zokuxhumana, zigigitheka lize liyoshona, lutho ukubheka izincwadi, imfunjwana leyo ziyayishalazela, kusasa zizobe sezingokhangezile, sezibeka uhulumeni amabala. Ngiyabonga.
Asimpinding elikhulu Hlombe. Let's hear it one more time. Let's keep doing it while I adjust this mic. All right. We're also gonna have poets coming in from Riebeek Valley. Yeah, absolutely. These are the poets who were chosen from the skill sharing workshop we had over there. So we can't absolutely wait to have them. Let's start with the first one. Please, everybody, put your hands together for Bradley. Let's hear it. Give it up.
Môre, hallo. Dankie julle. Baie dankie. Ek weet nie vanoggend is ek miskien 'n bietjie nervous. Gister was 'n ander energie so nou 'n bietjie alright, maar I was told that I was only supposed to do one poem this morning, so now I was told I have 15 minutes, so I have to stretch it out very, very long. So I'm going to read very, very slowly. So I'm going to start with my rendition of Psalm 23. I think everybody knows Psalm 23, so this is Psalm 23. Ek was verlore en gebond aan donkerte. Skadies van verwyd, selfjammering en skaamte het dag en nag oor my gehang. En al wat ek kon sien was die dooie verlore siele wat op oop waters dryf. Maar ek onthou toe hierdie woorde. Al gaan ek ook aan die dal van skaduwee. Ek sal geen onheil vrees, want U is met my. U stok en die staaf, die vertroos my. Kniediep was ek vasgevang en omring deur berge van probleme. En ek het toegelaat dat dit my dieper aan die afgrond afdruk, terwyl riviere van twyfel en angs deur my are vloei, tot boord die dam van hartseer se walle. Trane van verlange na hoop het begin rol en ek was bang. Op my knieë maak ek my oë toe en ek sien hoe hy my laat neerlê in groen weivelde. Na waters waar rus is, lei hy my heen. Hy verkoop my siel. Hy lei my in die spore van geregtigheid om sy naam ontwil. Alles was geopenbaar met 'n blinkmôre ster. My beker was vol en daar was lig op die wolke. Sy naam was Jesus en hy het vir my lewe gegee. Die tafel was gedek en ek het die krag van vryheid en moed saam my gedra om teenstanders in die oë te kan kyk as 'n gesalfde man. Van my hoof was vet van die olie. Ek het opgestaan uit die donkerte met goedheid en guns vir al die dae van my lewe. En tot in die lengte van dae sal ek woon in die huis van die Here. Die Here is my herder en niks sal my ontbreek nie. Dankie. Ag, ek is so jammer, ek is waarskynlik baie sitterig en nie myself nie so. Asseblief, ek is regtig jammer dat ek nie my volle beste kan gee nie so. Dat ek net die dinge bietjie adjust. Dankie Phillipa. Ek waardeer. Hey, hier breek ek nou alles af. Sorry julle. Okay. Dit was donker. En al wat ek kon sien, was die glinster in jou oë. Met my hande op jou skouers en jou kop teen my bors, het ons gedans die nag in, tot die nagtegaal op ons sing. En toe die sons opkom en die eerste lig bring, het hy skielik uit my arms gespring. Jy moes gaan, maar ek wou nie los nie. En net soos die son die mis laat verdwyn, so was jy weg. In die rigting van die sonsondergang. En ek staan verlate en staar na my hande, daar waar ons vingers in mekaar gevleg was. Maar ek is bly dit was net weer 'n droom. Want ek sou dit nie kon teer om jou weer 'n keer te sien wegloop van my af nie. Ek verdwyn die donkerte in en hoop om weer van jou te droom. Dit is deesdae die enigste plek waar ek die geleentheid kry om jou te kan sien. Maar sonder om te loop, droom ek steeds van jou. Sonder om te loop, dink ek aan jou. Sonder om die oog te knoop, loop my trane vir jou. En sonder om asem te haal, klop my hart vir jou. So onthou, sonder jou kan die lewe my nie hou. Okay, dat was my tweede, so ek gaan maar nou, as ek derde een, die liefst as het oké is, moet ek maar stop. Okay, dankie. Die het ek gister ook opgelees, so, gelees, so, ek gaan probeer om my beste weer te gee, so. Ontydig, so was ons liefde. Koud, warm en wankelerig. Maar my hart was toevertrou aan jou. Jou waslap en hangdoek hang nog in die badkamermuur. En in die kas hang klere wat beslis nie vir my gaan pas. Dit was pret, ek moet erken. Jake laat aan koffie, jake lag voor die kachelvuur sal ek verewig. Vir al die lawwe oomblikke wat ek jou spielerig in my arms kon hou. Ek en jy, maar net ek het kerkklokke oorlei. Ontydig het ons liefde begin, en ontydig het dit tot 'n einde gekom. Die gordyn het finaal gesak, en die storie was verby. Hartseer en verlange het egter op die verhoog agtergebly, naamlik ek en jy. Ons storie was ver van 'n einde en tog het die liefde aan iemand anders verklaar. Ek staan nou met my hart op my mou en my trots in 'n tas, verward en verlore. Was ons jong en stout miskien 'n fout? Van ons is nou die laaste reël van 'n sprokiesverhaal met 'n onvoltooide vers en 'n einde wat ons nooit sal kry. Die gordyn het gesak en my wêreld verduister in donkerte en as. Jou liefde en jou gedagte draai ek saam in 'n tas met 'n storie om te vertel wat kon gewees het en 'n einde wat ons nooit sal kry. Van ons liefde was dit nooit bestem. Dankie.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Bradley Arendse. Let's hear it one more time for him. Let's hear it. Thank you very much. We're moving right along to another poet from Riebeek Valley. Please hear it for Nicolene Smit, everybody. Let's hear it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's just do it like this. Woordoorlog. Die woorde kom aangevlieg soos 'n tweesnydende swaard. Dit kloof deur vlees, been, murg en siel. Een vir een word die woordpyle uit die koker gehaal, styf gespan en afgeskiet. Dit kom suisend deur die lug, hoop dis 'n kolskoot. Koes vir die woorde, wat soos klippe aangerol kom van die glashuis bo op die heuwel. 'n Bom van woorde wat afgaan en groot opskudding veroorsaak. Woorde oral oor wat verwoesting saai en alles afmaai. Sonder waarskuwing word die granaatbom se slagpen getrek. Niks bly oor, die woorde maak jou onmiddellik vrek. Ma se kraswoorde brand soos kolevuur op jou vel. Jy verbeel jou, jy's in die hel. Pa se woorde kom soos 'n krullende sweep, gestraf vir vergeet en bed toe sonder om te eet. Maak 'n einde aan alles. Trek die sneller. Dis mis, want jy is toegemaak, toegevou, alles aan hom toe vertrou. Spreek uit teenoor geslagsgeweld, teenoor boelies, teenoor korrupsie, teenoor werkloosheid, teenoor misdaad, teenoor dwelmmisbruik, teenoor wanopvoeding en Eskom natuurlik. Lewe en dood lê in die tong. Ons moet kies om lewe te spreek. Spreek die regte woorde, woorde wat heel maak, woorde wat bemoedig, woorde wat lewens ten goeie kan verander, woorde van liefde. Woorde kan berge versit, verskuif, laat verdwyn. Woorde kan deure oopmaak. Woorde bring jou doel nader. Ons is almal vasgevang in 'n oorlog van woorde. Soos dobberende bootjies op die oop see, rondgeslinger deur die branders. Spreek, vrede, see, wees stil. Second one is a short one, and it's entitled hashtag. Hashtag this and hashtag that. Hashtag why? To hashtag emphasize. Hashtag formed in your mother's womb. Hashtag chosen. There's only you. Hashtag called for a time such like this. Hashtag anointed as poet and writer. Hashtag equipped. Today is evident of it. Hashtag elevated. We're surely on a higher level. Hashtag highly favored. It can only be you and me. Hashtag protected. No harm will come your way. Hashtag blessed. That's all of above. Hashtag who are we? Hashtag sons and daughters of the Most High King. Hashtag sons and daughters of the written and spoken word. Hashtag we all belong. Just a few seconds. By die kruis. Toe ek die vra om my hier te ontmoet, het ek nie geweet die pad is so lank en so ver nie. My spoed is lank al nie meer wat dit was nie. En met die ouderdom en die jare het die tree maar stadig geword. Ek weet u het baie vrae oor die kruis. Sommige sê mos, omdat ek Maria is, Jesus se moeder. Ek is heilig en moet 'n engel wees. Maar niks hiervan is waar nie. Dit is hoekom ek vandag self gekom het, om u die waarheid te vertel. Kom ek vertel u die storie van Bethlehem. Hy was nog nie eers gebore nie, toe vrees ek hom al. Terwyl ek nog swanger was, het mense al anders opgetree in sy teenwoordigheid. Ja, daardie tyd wat my bloedverwant Elisabeth swanger was met Jonas die doper. Vir jare en jare het ek met skuldgevoelens rondgeloop. God stuur my toe sy engel wat my aanraak, en net so was my skuldgevoelens weg. Daar is vandag vir u ook 'n kans om van u skuldgevoelens ontslae te raak. Ek was saam met die vroue wat Jesus so lief gehad het, toe die boodskap kom. Jesus is gevange geneem. Net soos u en ek ook vandag saam is, wat Jesus lief het. Dit was al laat in die nag. Maar toe ek Jesus sien, het ek nie eers geweet dit is hy nie. Hulle het hom so geslaan dat ek hom nie eers herken het nie. Ek onthou die gesigte vol haat en bitterheid. Ek onthou die bloedspoor wat hy agtergelaat het. Ek onthou die kruis, so helder en duidelik. En u? Onthou u dit? Daar was oral mense en mense wat gestamp en gestoot het. En ek kon nie verbykom nie. Ek wou by my seun Jesus uitkom. Ek wou by die kruis uitkom. Hoor iemand my hulpkreet. Geen ouer behoort te aanskou hoe haar kind sterf nie. Wie kan sulke smart verdra? Wil u weet hoe ek gevoel het as sy moeder? Dit was nie omdat ek hom groot gemaak het nie. Nee, nie eers die dag toe my man sterf, het ek so gevoel nie. Wat ek wel nou weet, alles moes so gebeur het. Ja, maar hoekom? Om my nader na die kruis te bring. Die kruis, dit is waaroor alles gaan. Dit is sy kruisdood wat my so pynig. Jesus het ons so lief gehad, dat hy vir u en my sonde sterf. Ek het saam met Jesus die pad geloop, en hom van kleins af geleer. Ek is mos sy moeder. Maar skielik verander alles na sy kruisdood. Wie is ek dan nou? In die skadu van die kruis, wie is ek? Wie is ek sonder my seun? Maar wie is u sonder Jesus? Hy ken u pyn en ellende. Hy ken u by die naam vir elkeen van u. Gaan u bly staan in die skadu van die kruis? Die uurglas loop leeg. Die tyd is nou. Kies die regte pad. By die kruis is u redding. By die kruis is u ewige lewe. By die kruis is u bevryding. By die kruis is u genesing. By die kruis is u beskerming. By die kruis is u vrede. By die kruis is u blydskap en by die kruis is u liefde. Alles by die kruis vir u en vir my. Gratis. Die prys is klaar betaal. Met Jesus se kosbare bloed. Jesus het opgestaan, hy leef. Maak gereed om die bruidegom te ontmoet. Dankie.
Let's keep it going for Nicolene Smit, everybody. Thank you very much. Well, Phillipa requested a poem, so I'll perform a short poem. Yes. When a couple of boys at my high school assembly called me ugly, I packed it into my lunchbox. I had it between breaks and lunch. I cleared the back of my throat for a place to hide, looked for room to put the rest of my face inside, and by the time the bell rang, my ugly had settled into my breath, inhaling to reveal all I have left. My big sister sees my bags around my knees. I slowly unwind my chest, and she asks me if I am hungry. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is great. It's like a therapy session. Loved it, absolutely. I'm going to call up one more poet from Riebeek Valley who has probably one of the most fun names I've ever heard in my life. Please welcome Donker, Jonker, everybody.
Hello, fellow lovers of verse. I hail from a little village called Riebeek, which is the wine and art capital of the world. And we also have a very stoked little circle of poets there, under the fine guidance of Director Mark Graham Wilson and his For Life Center. Any of you ever passing through that way? Stop someone in the street and come and play with us, please. We call ourselves Poetry Jam, and we have our meetings once a month in probably the finest, most beautiful amphitheater setting you will ever have the privilege to play in. My bed. Where is my bed? My bed of birth, between the rotten timbers of a slave ship from Sulawesi. My bed of earth, under the tracks of wandering wagons and hooves and feet and paws and stealthy man-eating claws. Where is my bed? The pieces of my bed of peace, burned by Her Royal Majesty's marauding Makwerekwere in the name of their king and country. My bed of tears, under the bulldozed bricks of District 6, where remnants of remembrance mix with little bits of broken china. My bed of fears, amongst the tombstones of Magersfontein and Isandlwana and Maguzbar and Marikana. My bed of trust, stolen through broken oaths of office by ruthless, truthless men who sleep in ostentatious opulence in the crevasses of their character, whilst their minions die in the dirty linen of their daily lives. Where is my bed? My bed of hope, my bed of dreams, of promise to the firstborns. Now, my bed of thorns. Where is my bed? Where should I lay down my head when I'm dead? En dan gaan ek vir julle 'n gedig in Afrikaans doen. Wat is wat ons praat daar in die hoofstad van wyn en kuns van die wye wêreld. En dit gaan terug na die ou geskiedenis toe, die eerste mense. Ruik die wind, die fabrieke, die karre, die hope gemors. Sien jy die see vol vullis, die leë rivier? Hoor jy die hygende asem van mens en sy gevange dier? Ruik die vergryp, gulsige, gierigse, verfoeilike vrou. Op die aandwind kom ou stemme wat huil en snik. En die strome dryf nog net vuil en sluk. Die Sanman se wraak, die dood van hierdie land. Die Sanman se wraak. Baie dankie.
That was great, everybody. Please give it up one more time. And give it up for all the Riebeek Valley poets we had up here. Yes, yes. Definitely love a town rich in the arts because it shows that's the heartbeat of the place, and definitely very beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We are going to have our second open mic poet on stage right now. Everybody put your hands together for Umvula Ngobo. Let's hear it.
Hi,
It is a bouncing baby boy. He will grow to form a full, strong man. Yet, when it's an adorable baby girl, she just has to grow. She just has to grow, and she will. She will outgrow her princess ways to trace tracks back to her mother's rage. She will learn to crawl back to take the shape of her mother's fury. She will burn. You will misread her breathing, yet never miss her smoke. She will learn to evaporate the waters held by her eyes. The salt will burn her insides until she learns to smile when she cries. She will grow. She just has to grow, and she will. Just not into the sun that I need. So forgive me, Father, for I never meant to burn you. You were too cold to be alive. I just wanted to be the sun that you needed, the light that you needed to escape your darkness. Yet I never knew that dark was I, and the only resemblance left for a baby girl to inherit was your artistic measures. I only grew back to your center knuckles, held my head high, aimed at your canvas, imprinting art for the world to ignore. She is just a growing baby girl. What does she know? So forgive me, Father, for your sons know not what they do, and they know not what to do. So what they do is them trying to show you what not to do, because outburst of mating season remains, get kept to be trapped in bottles labeled female, subjected to regenerate the echoes left by our fathers, to keep the candle of hope burning for our mothers until the candle wax burns off and the candle rope reconnects with our intestines, and we keep burning ourselves, creating eternal internal warmth for the sons we are yet to carry. Yet when they inherit their mother's heat, they do not know how to handle it, so exert it on our skin with a slap on the face, and still carry the audacity to complain of us being burnt, too burnt. But aren't we castles? Aren't we bricks to standing castles? Aren't our hearts the fireplaces? Aren't we breaking gracefully onto our own hands? And aren't you amazed by how we carry ourselves? So yes, it is a baby girl, and she will grow to be strong because she has mastered the arts of twisting and curling. She has learned to suppress all of her gods. And her being girl was just an attempt of being a capeless heroine, because when mothers bear sons for fathers, cannot stand the heat of another man's flame. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Let's hear it one more time, everybody. Let's hear it. We gotta hear it one more time for Umfula Ngobo. Lovely stuff. We are moving right along to our final poet of this first segment. This is a poet who is a winner of the Louder Than a Vote competition that the CCA was running online this year. He is not only the winner of the month that he won in, but the overall winner of the year. Everybody, please welcome on stage Tshegofatjo, Makhafola. Let's hear it. There we go.
Down low, DL. The body is water taking shape of whatever landscape it rests on. You flow around the wounds your lover has. Fill his cracks, stretch to his borders. Cover the rough of his skin he has no comfort in. Become the landscape, the surface of whatever he has not healed. Become the shape of his damage. Morning. You are so starved of love, he shares his shame with you for breakfast. Your belly also stores his sins, the ones he prays away. If your sweetness gives him a toothache, people will ask questions. So he rinses you off his mouth in the morning. Give me a few minutes. I'm looking for another one. Love as a place. Here love is redemption. Here love cracks open your tombstone made from shame to exhume you. Here love reincarnates as a daisy from the grave. It says, never count your petals off as love-me-nots. Again, here love cures. It untangles your tongue from the knots you tied, self-loathing. It says, come as you are, stuttering, healing, with a protest still brewing in your mouth, with everything you say able to digress into a riot. Here love cleanses your mouth, teaches you to speak of yourself without biting your tongue. It says, I know you spend your whole life fed bullets, and you speak fluent gunshots, and you have a pistol for a mouth, but uncock the trigger your tongue is for this smoosh. It says, let your skin soften again. Here, love does not radiate bullets like outside when it speaks. It says, if your sweetness was scraped off your tongue with the sharpest edge of judgment sword, feed from mine, honey. Lend the sugar again. Tell your sweet tooth this is home, safe. Love says, I know you were taught to hide everything in your mouth until it fermented into poison. Let me dilute with the sweet of this forbidden fruit. Take this new language. Speak to yourself with love, like you are the love. Love says, you do not have to undress your skin to hold it as a placard, displaying the depth of your scars in exchange for me, for humanity, for rights, for life. Here. Thank you. Christmas lunch. You dress up your depression with the loudest laughter. Camouflage it with grace, 7 colors and truffle. Stuff so much in your mouth. Hide all that can cause a sin. Have your bleeding unseen when you ask for more bedroot. Have your bleeding unseen when you bite your tongue, trying not to say, this year too almost took you. Your silence is table etiquette. When the aunt calls you clumsy, again when you shiver and spill, you do not say, the knife does not know how to be still when it is not your weapon. It does not know how not to, the knife does not know how to be steady when you are not the meal. You laugh the loudest here too instead. Sunday, hell is your fate. The holy book is an undersized coffin you practiced fitting your dead in since 10. Sunday school always handed you a rope for a bookmark to Leviticus 18. Your mother's shame was a tree watered by the gospel, strong enough to let your body hang from it. You know conviction has been prayed away, to have your sin prosecuting your mother too. Your sin handcuffing her from raising her hands in worship. People like you find hell in temples too. Hell for people like you for have franchises everywhere. Evangel bans you from the preacher's mouth. Your mother's broken hallelujahs cannot extinguish your burning. There is no salvation for boys who find pulpits to worship from in other boys. Boys who mouth to mouth each other the word of God for revival. So every Sunday, everyone translates the word of God into their own words. These pages are blades sharpened for your sinning body. These scriptures cut you everywhere your lover finds you sweet. You bleed from sermons. You scar from Sundays. I'm going to do the last one. Run. Some of us have learned to build arcs with our mouths to keep our lovers safe, to bury them alive under our tongues, to never swallow or discard them to make space for praise and worship. Bless Noahs like us, who make lovers out of those made to believe are unworthy serpents. Mother, do you know how much protest it takes? How much burning of things it takes? What gets sacrificed between our closets and the streets, where we have to strip our blisters off our bones to exhibit the strain we've had to endure all our lives, and to still dance in toi-toi to convince everyone of the intensity of these fractures our bones carry. When my mother asks why I always talk to her with my eyes always searching for an escape. When she asks why I always look for exit routes in our conversations, I do not tell her that I do not want to starve myself spitting my lover out for a mother-to-son conversation, that my lover is the only daily bread that makes me full. I do not know how to say. I know how to be invited to a conversation to find a burial with an empty grave instead. That I've learned to close stick my lips for survival and let the details of the things I do not speak about ripe in my mouth into things people can digest when I'm ready to speak. So when she asks, my knees tremble, begging the ground to let them land safe for another prayer or another run. The ground knows we are always on our marks, ready to get set. Some people's mouths sound like marathon starting guns when they open, and this is why I always run, Mom.
I was going absolutely wild backstage. Let's hear it one more time. One more time for Tshegofatjo. That was absolutely incredible. Absolutely lovely. Wow. This would be the end of the first section of the show. We'll be coming back for the second section. We have a little break. But first, can we have Ninja X to come play us out? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. There we go, there we go. And of course, everybody remember to stick around for the second part where we'll have every poet on the lineup come through and say their goodbyes on stage with a poem.
A bird with a word came to me, the sweetness of a honeycomb tree. And now our look was taking over me, couldn't fake it if I wanted to. I had to wake up just to make it through. I got my patience and I'm making do. I learned my lessons from the ancient rules. I choose to follow what the greatest do. A bird with a word came to me, the sweetness of a honeycomb tree. And now my look was taking over me, couldn't fake it if I wanted to. I had to wake up just to make it through. I got my patience and I'm making do. I learned my lessons from the ancient rules. I choose to follow what the greatest do. I'm repping for the longest cycle. My uncles had to pay the cost. My sister used to sing the Whitney. My mama caught the gambling bug. We came up in a lonely castle. My papa was behind them bars. We never had to want for nothing. Said all we ever need is love. We see the same thing. We sing the same song. We feel the same grief. Bleed the same blood. You grew up in the home beside me. I always had a friend to call. How could I make it here without you? I pray I leave before you're gone. A bird with a word came to me, the sweetness of a honeycomb tree. And now our look was taking over me, couldn't fake it if I wanted to. I had to wake up just to make it through. I got my patience and I'm making do. I learned my lessons from the ancient rules. I choose to follow what the greatest do. A bird with a word came to me, the sweetness of a honeycomb tree. And now my look was taking over me, couldn't fake it if I wanted to. I had to wake up just to make it through. I got my patience and I'm making do. I learned my lessons from the ancient rules. I choose to follow what the greatest do. Is crying. I'm almost home, almost home. Up north with the Lions, working my fingers to the bone. See, I do the best I can. Mama was a farmer, Papa was a goner.
If you think that all is lost, I'll be counting up my demons, yeah, hoping everything's not lost. drag you down. 'Cause if you ever feel neglected, if you think that all is lost, I'll be counting up my demons, yeah, hoping everything's not lost. Ever feel neglected, if you think that all is lost, I'll be counting up my demons, yeah, hoping everything's not lost, singing out,
wrote some notes and melodies. This is my legacy. Sing it over me. Rise up. We will rise up and keep our eyes up. Remembering. Rise up. Open your eyes and you. 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 I planted seeds in a beautiful garden that I will never see. Will they become tall trees? I left some love and fantasies. This is my legacy. Dream it over me. Rise up. We will rise up and keep our eyes up. Remembering. Rise up. Open your eyes and you. Rise up. Open your eyes and you. Rise up. Open your eyes and you. Rise up. Open your eyes and you.
bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope you know you're the world. You're all so special to me. I hope you grow up to be even kinder than me. I hope you get to see I love the world from mountain to seas. I hope you reach all your dreams. I hope if that's what you need. I wanna see you grow into a beautiful tree. I hope you get to go to destinations you dream. The galaxy in your eyes. Your hair is wavy as dream. I hope that you see the world. Hope it's as kind as can be. I hope your flowers bloom. 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 I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. 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 I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. When I travel far, when I travel far, you're on my mind. You're on my mind. You are my shining star. You are my shining star. Don't you change a thing. Don't you change a thing. When I travel far, when I travel far, you're on my mind. You're on my mind. You are my shining star. You are my shining star. Don't you change a thing. Don't you change a thing. I hope your flowers bloom. 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 I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. 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 I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. Flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope your flowers bloom. I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom. 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 I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to. I hope your flowers bloom.
With your cash. Yeah, mine. Yeah, mine. Yeah, mine. I said 5 in the morning. I wake up to 5 for my eyes. Fear in my mind is a warning. Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day. I tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. I tried to get by, but I'm burning. I'm behind, my mind, it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy, finding a way where you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot pray. I need to find release, but behind my mind it runs. All these thoughts have trouble me. Finding to give up my pain, finding to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side when it's time to leave my life. Then it tries to take me out, tell you what I need, right? Yeah, I really need my love. I need to free my love. I really need Thando. I need to free my mind now. I really need Thando. I need to free my love. I really need Thando. Oh, yeah. To set me free, freer than the open mind, farther than the eyes can handle, freer than the ocean now. Yeah, yeah. To set me free, now I need to find release. Set me to the open sky. Now I need to free my mind, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, oh no. I might be falling deep. 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 Tell me now what you need. I've been going to God when I'm only my mind. I might be falling deep. Ooh, falling deep. I might be falling. I might be.
Lyrics from the heart and soul to the present society. Relative issues to soul, music and laughter. Soul motivation, independence, that's what you need. Never ever let success or evil alienate you from being you, the real you. Stay true to yourself. Be an example of perseverance and dedication. In education, presentation, constantly working hard, and you won't regret the fact you're living on the earth. Beyond the pain surrounding you, you can find spiritual freedom. If you want that experience of freedom and humbleness, you gotta have patience, tolerance. That's what you need. I gonna let you know, so you will grow to be you, the real you. Stay true to yourself. Be an example of perseverance and dedication. In education, presentation, constantly working hard, and you won't regret the fact you're living on the earth. From being you, the real you. Stay true to yourself. Be an example of perseverance and dedication. In education, presentation, constantly working hard, and you won't regret the fact you're
Come on.
living on the
Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Let's keep the sound up. Yeah. And it don't stop until the beat, yo. And it don't stop. That's it. Everybody please come in. All right. It's as far as I'm going. Okay, okay. Okay. All right, is everybody settled in? Anybody from outside, please come in. Let's settle down. We get into the second half of this final day. We are so thankful to everybody who contributed to this festival in each and every way they did so. So please, everybody, let's settle down. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's come in. Do buy the books as well outside, you know. How's everybody feeling? There we go. Did you enjoy the first half? Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going very well. Now, the poets who graced us this festival, they will all be coming back to perform one poem each, just as a farewell to the audience you've been, as a farewell to the city, to the festival. But I'm pretty sure many, many great relationships were started here, and many, many great relationships are going to continue in the future for Poetry Africa and the poets. So we are more than thankful. Are we ready to welcome our first poet from the lineup? Okay, let's do just that. Everybody, put your hands together. From Argentina, we have, Mana, let's hear it! Mana, look at all your fans, yes!
Hi. I really was not expecting to open the... Did the other 5 poets drop dead? What happened? I was number 6. So I am going to do a couple of things that I should not do, which is like I'm going to sing 2 songs that don't belong to me after this week where I don't have any voice. So, ill advice. The first song is just for my cousin Kwas. And the second song is for everybody because the second song is a goodbye song. Oh. So the first song is about a person who has a misunderstanding with his own guitar, and the guitar doesn't want to play. And the other one is, as I say, a song of goodbye that has the hope of seeing you again. And are both by Juan Quintero, an Argentinian musician. Okay. Le pregunto a mi guitarra de sus amores conmigo, si hace un capullo en mi pecho y apenita es un suspiro. A veces me lleva lejos, agüita de cauce quieto. Dime, mujer, que es mentira que mis oídos han muerto. Debe ser que a mí me tiene como raíz cara al cielo, donde brillan las palabras que guardo con tanto celo. Nada me dice mi gaucha y habrá que seguir nomás, entre pregunta y silencio, entre luz y oscuridad. Ella viene de los cerros de algarrobos o nogales, donde el verde canta al viento lentas coplas vegetales. Te aseguro, guitarrita, que aunque no me digas nada, aprenderé tu silencio y no he de hablar con mi alma. Nada me dice mi gaucha y habrá que seguir nomás, entre pregunta y silencio, entre luz y oscuridad. And now, yes, this one is equipaje. Equipaje means luggage. And it's more or less a description of what you carry when you leave to have an adventure. And I feel like this is kind of my home now, so I feel like I'm not pandering to the audience, by the way. I really feel like this. Okay. Oh, I had a... ¿Cómo empieza? ¿Cómo empieza? ¿Cómo empieza? ¿Cómo empieza? Ay, ¿cómo empieza? Sorry. Ay, llevo sin olvidar destino y pasaje, origen mi documento. Me voy a un horizonte tan difuso y tan incierto que mejor me llevo el norte en una brújula que me invento. La palabra nace, calma, paz y ansia de abrazos. Y la arenga del ser querido que me despide, que me acompaña. Métele chaga, métele fuerza y mágicame solo, lucero, canto y ya, con su silencio. El mate y la palabra mía y grande, incaviallosa. Llevo un cariño por todos lados, y el arroz pasado que viaje mi pecho. Me lleva encima un poco de prudencia, y para solo abrevar la ausencia. Cotidiano que pierdo el paso y desgarra y ya te estaré encontrando, no sé dónde y no sé cuándo, y mientras tanto largo esta copa para que agite un poco el vacío, que te abrace el nombre mío, si no estoy más.
Let's hear it one more time for Mana, everybody. You know, you definitely should feel at home, because as you know, mi casa es su casa. Thank you. I'm cultured, I should get some claps. Come on, I'm out there. Yes, exactly. Moving right along, please everybody welcome our second poet, who was also fantastic this week. Lydol, everybody from Cameroon, let's welcome Lydol! Bring her up to the stage, Lydol Dolly Star!
Hello everyone. Sorry, I wasn't ready because I was sitting there, and since the break I've been starting writing something. It's not done. I haven't even read it again. You know, my English, sometimes I need to switch my brain for me to get the right words, but please understand. Okay. Today, I decided to write for the writers, to take some minutes of poetry for the poets. Instead of saying goodbye, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for the amazing people I met, the priceless moments I spent. Thank you for the words that healed the wounds I was hiding instead of curing. Thank you for unveiling the truths I was running away from, the stories I was afraid to tell. Modise Sekgothe. My mouth practiced your name before my eyes met you. And when I heard your voice, I fell in love with your genuinely way of saying things. You, my poetic crush. It's okay now, leave am so. Where? Okay. You die slowly, making life easy for what is killing you. Lebo Mashile. I will bring these words back to my country to remind me that I have the right to live and to live for me. Dr. Ismail Mohammed. What a great man. Even if you refused to dance yesterday, the kindness of your heart already showed us the moves. Sipindile, my forever sister. The first person I talk about to my mom when I arrived in South Africa. Thank you for being you and saying things I myself am denying. Kwaz, vangile page, if I knew 8 years ago that I would have met you again. Thank you for the discussions and the emotions. Siphokazi, you showed me the way, and because of you, I came here to see Unokutela Ndima. Roché Kester, you remind me of my premium pulse and its value. Nashla, thank you for the intensity and the depth of your story and your words. I hope the news and the far-right extremists in Sweden didn't blow the love we gave you here. During conversations with the human, I met Thando Fuze. I watch her tilting the scales, admire her engagement, and I love her dreads. Thank you to Karen Ijumba for struggling to have me here. Paul, I don't know even if he's still here, but thank you for your rhymes and your rhythms in Catalan, and I hope some of your texts are going to be soon published in English. The incredible Diana Ferrus. Mama Phillipa, thank you for the wisdom of your words. To Philip, to Mana, I want to say a huge thank you because you're the particular person that makes me grow during this trip. Someone told me once that the friend of the champion is the champion of all the friends. So, Kabiso and Kwanele, I'm honored to have met your words and attend your amazing performances. Amanda Zuma, my twin, thank you very much. I can talk, I'm not yet done. I can talk about every smile I met, every people I discussed with, but I think at this level, what I can say is a huge thank you. And before going, I would just share this short poem because that's how I feel now. I choose you. In front of everything and everybody, I decided you to be part of me and me to be part of you, even if it's just a few. I choose your smiles amongst thousands, raised when you've been rising, because I've been waiting for you when other people have been browsing, so I choose you. Just for the way you make me feel. You know, since that I'm with you, I know love is real. I have in me the heart that you just filled. Because the day we met, you turned my life into a fairy tale. You hold my hand and you told me that I couldn't fail. You're more than my confidence. Since then I'm with you, I share secrets that I couldn't tell. I choose you. Because before, I was just an empty shadow moving from the left to the right. I thought I was a whirlwind, but I wasn't blowing on the right side. I thought I was in love, that I've been loved, but you came in and you changed my mind. Because you just at the door of my heart and I open without asking any fee. Because besides you, I feel great tall even when I'm standing on my knees, because without any hesitation, I give you all I have because you are all I need. Because you're so special that you turn me into the special one. I can even tell you all the things I already won. You learned me that love doesn't need to be perfect. It has to be true. Poetry Africa. I choose you. Thank you.
Take me back to the distance. Oh yeah, late night.
We have to hear it. We have to hear it one more time for Lydol.
Dirty dancing.
Look at all the people blushing in this room. Everybody is blushing. Oh man, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. And it truly, the beauty of this place is, you know, it creates real friendships and real communities, you know. When I was a part of Poetry Africa in 2014 is when I first met Lydol, and all of these people, and they've remained close to my heart, and I talk to more of them quite a lot, actually. So thank you to Poetry Africa for all of that. Thank you. And the next poet I'm introducing is Lydol's Poetry Crush. As it is. Everybody, let's hear it for Modise Sekgothe!
Sending my love all over you. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, a little too much ice cream was had last night. And I can feel the effects right now. Ice cream. This is the official word for it in this festival, dubbed by Mr. Dr. Muhammad himself. So, you are one of the best things to ever happen to me. And so I must prepare myself for the worst. For love comes inevitably interlocked with loss. Every great love drags behind it just as great a loss as its cost. Never again shall I be shocked by the debt collector's knock, nor shall I be found fumbling on all fours at the fading of a dame's chorus, feeding from the ground, bleeding at the mouth from screaming my devotion. I have long since begun the process of losing you, routinely, to root in me the coming cruelty of your leaving. I walk behind you most religiously, to acquaint myself with the sight of your back and the swing of your stride on the path of your fleeing. I imagine your final exit every time you walk out the door, even if only to the store. I squeeze forever into those few minutes and try to have forgotten you by the time you return to our shores. I visualize losing you so vividly that your leaving visits me ceaselessly. I rehearse releasing you so readily that your remnants have already made themselves known to me. Every day I hold you only to acquaint myself with the feeling of letting you go. Every day the loss of you takes hold of me. I exercise accepting your exit so efficiently that your energy already radiates that of an ancient being. I memorize your smell and touch with great accuracy for the times you will no longer be with me. I keep forgotten bits of you in my museum of innocence to remember you gently. Tufts of your hair hang on the walls up the stairs to the pantry. Bits of your bitten apples are hidden in a trench for preservation of their sanctity. A couple of your lost socks are in a secret box behind the broken chair by the magazines. The broken cup you drank with I put together with my soul for later offering. I dug up a pair of your old underwear and framed it to hang atop the bedroom door as welcoming. I practice plowing through the pain of our parting so precisely I can preempt every pang as though prompted by some premonition. I anticipate the agony with such accuracy, you could swear I designed it myself and flushed myself of all empathy. But still I cry for you, fairly frequently, almost daily, to make sure your departure finds the ocean and me completely empty. I have seen your coming leaving. I have seen your shadow practice the steps without your knowing. I have seen your eyes wander towards the wilderness of a new glowing. I have felt your touch trail off without your skin moving. I felt your grasp loosen before your palms could disprove it. I peeped into the parts of you most elusive and saw the bags of your heart getting packed for no return. I know with certainty that time is a fraudulent beast, and I cannot stand the sleight of hand I've once before seen. So I do not let you go because I do not love you, but because everything I have ever loved, I have lost. And so too with you. It must be.
Sending my love all over you.
Oh man. Thank you very much, Modise. Everybody clapping with sadness in their hearts. That's the quintessential poetry experience, if you will. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Please welcome our next poet all the way from Cape Town, the very great Siphokazi Jonas. Let's hear it.
Hi everyone. I'm gonna read 4 tweets, which are just vignettes that I wrote on reflection after walking on the beach. 3 while I was in Cape Town, and 1 last night where we had that really strange wind and noise and things. There is nothing we know of the sea that is not her revelation to us. She swallows ships to seal secrets. In her embrace, baptism is almost drowning. We weed ourselves from the water salted with new knowledge. When red moon rose full out of cloud into clear height, suddenly all my world became water. Body became silhouette, blade of yellow light, sliced wet sand, bleeding past ankles and knees, coming waves met tide returning. Lullaby. The wind decants the sea into the room through song. The sea releases its spirit as sound but refuses with its body. The ocean as voice is in here. The water as substance is out there. Brackish silence recedes in waves until my limbs are an empty corridor. And then I wrote this last night. It's very short. I usually don't like sharing work in process, but you know. Tonight is for thunder and waves breaking under the baritone of wind singing over the sea. Tonight is for staying out of the water and wet streets inhaling rain in lungs of cement. Tonight is for things that were here before, when whales were ships and the moon was a lighthouse. Thank you.
I know you want to keep it going. I know you just want to keep it going. I absolutely love that that happens, that it seems like poets write a lot more when around poetry, you know. There's just a beauty in that. I absolutely love that that goes on. Now, obviously, a person who is very inspiring is coming up next. Please welcome on stage Diana Ferrus, everybody. Let's hear it! Give it up, keep it going, keep it going!
That's it, yeah. Thank you. Hello, everybody. It's been an amazing experience. The peace song. And when I die, I want to die peacefully. Although by bullets, bombs, or shrapnel, I want to die with my eyes locked in yours. And may you see in it the love I carry for you. I want to die in peace, for peace, giving peace, loving peace. I want to die peacefully, placing my blasted out heart in your palm, while your gun is loaded with chemicals, finely mixed solutions created in corners, not spoken of. And as we meet in that final moment, I will think of the ones whom we scorched in Hiroshima, those without limbs in Sierra Leone, the bones we dug up in Bosnia, the orphans in Rwanda. I will bring before myself the world, and I will not shout out, "Oh my God, have mercy." But I will give to you my last breath, that it may fill you, that you may wake from your slumber and soon be stripped of pretense, that you never felt the devastation of 2 world wars, one we call first, and the second, which we cannot call last. We're not aware of the trials at Nuremberg and now The Hague, and the faces exclaiming, "We did not know." And if in that second I'd be granted a moment, I will ask you to reflect on the here and the now, on the gun in your hand, the bomb on your body, the missiles manufactured where? And if those thoughts could penetrate you, I would die peacefully, with my eyes locked in yours, and may you see in it the love I carry for you. I want to die still loving you. I want to die for the scores, in the name of peace, in this love I carry you, to keep this peace. I want to die for the scores, in the name of peace, in this love I carry you, to keep this peace. In the name of love, in the name of peace, in the name of love, in the name of peace. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I've come to take you home. For Sarah Bartman. I've come to take you home. Home. Do you remember the veld? The lush green grass beneath the big oak trees. The air is cool there. And the sun does not burn. I have made your bed. At the foot of the hill, your blankets are covered in buchu and mint. The proteas stand in yellow and white. And the water in the stream chuckles, sings songs as it hobbles along over little stones. I've come to wrench you away, away from the poking eyes of the man-made monster who lives in the dark with his clutches of imperialism, who dissects your body bit by bit, who likens your soul to that of Satan and declares himself the ultimate God. I've come to soothe your heavy heart. I offer my bosom to your weary soul. I will cover your face with the palms of my hands, run my lips over the lines in your neck, feast my eyes on the beauty of you, and I
will sing for you, for I have come to bring you peace. I've come to take you home where the ancient mountains shout your name. I have made your bed at the foot of the hill. Your blankets are covered in buchu and mint. The protea stand in yellow and white. I've come to take you home where I will sing for you. For you have brought me peace. For you have brought us peace. Thank you.
Take me back to the distance. Oh, yeah.
I know you want to keep it going more than that. Let's hear it. Let us keep hearing it for the lovely Diana. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to call up our next poet. Our next poet, many poets definitely are very dear to our hearts and are very linked to our stories as poets. And this one is one who, to me, is definitely in that way and in that shape. Please, everybody, put your hands together for Lebo, Mashile. Let's hear it.
Hey, the cost of losing hearts desire so soon. I'll be sending my love all over you. So
I dedicate this poem to Miriam Tladi. It was inspired by a story that was shared by Gnamhlope, actually, and by Miriam Tladi herself. She was the first black woman to publish a novel in English in South Africa. In 1975, Muriel at Metropolitan, which later became republished as Between Two Worlds. And, you know, there was the height of apartheid. She was dragged by black people. She was dragged, black men mostly, for telling the truth about what the experience of being a black woman is like. She was dragged by white people for being black, and she was getting these international invitations to go and share her book, and it was incredibly difficult for her to travel. She would have to apply months in advance to get a visa to go and visit, you know, Sweden or wherever it was that they were inviting her. And she would use the time while she was fighting to get this visa to go to the airport and befriend the people who worked in the planes and the ground staff at the airport, so that when she went overseas, she could smuggle banned books back into the country. And she would put the books in between the seats, and then the cleaner of the plane would take the book out of the seat and then hand it to the guy who puts the baggage on the, that round thing, that conveyor belt, and then she was able to get the books and build a library of banned books in Soweto for young people. Much of the generation in Soweto in 1976, you know, so many people in the 70s and the 80s were conscientized by her books. And I mean, the security police got wind of this, and she was raided and searched, and she eventually started burying the books in the ground so that people wouldn't find them. And of course, I mean, you know, you share a brilliant book with somebody, it doesn't come back. So that library exists in different shapes and forms and ways all over the place. But for somebody who made a vast contribution, it broke my heart that Miriam died alone. Black women are an advanced technology, which is not to say that this is not this is not to degrade anybody else in any other body of any other gender, any other race, but black women are iPhone. They don't see us coming, and, you know, because of that, sometimes they, you know, pretend not to see us going either. So this is for Miriam. Art is in the making. In the small hours of morning, where darkness shielded the weight of your words from police, in the cold caress of dew that watered your face, feet, and hands as you hid your books in the cruel meat of the earth that still does not belong to us. In the furtive steps you took to find workers who removed banned books from metal dragons in the sky that often took you away and brought you home with libraries to feed starving imaginations of children who still burn. In the relentless rejection, in the flames of adulation, in the mire of loneliness, in the thankless, disciplined determination, in the archives of thoughts, what meticulous future artwork did your fertile mind inhabit? In this dystopia called freedom, we eat Black women alive. Whose dream are we living in this place of high-speed death? What is being made of us? A woman with her own mind is dangerous, an arsenal of weapons waiting to explode. They feared you, Metladi. That's why you died alone. We fear the same truth you lived for.
What's this, Lebo? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, everybody, put your hands together for a warm soul and an enriching poet. Please welcome Phillipa de Villiers. Let's hear it.
It's like prize giving at school. Like everyone's going to get theirs, and you look at each other and, like, you know, you get yours. And this is, thank you so much for this amazing week. Thank you for every single poem, every single word. We are made of each other, and I am full of you. Thank you so much. I am fed. So I'm kind of a little bit intimidated by all of you kind of very, very good performers with just your things out of your head. But I've got a poem like that, but I don't want to do it. So, so this is for all of us who are going to always, like, you know, where the poem that you can't remember or you can't find was such a brilliant poem, but you can't find it. So this is to the lost poem, I who've lost 3 hard drives with brilliant work, brilliant. Anyway. To the lost poems. Are you the shadows that cross the wall at night, delicate foliage wiped away by the rising day? How one with the sun but not quite as brilliant? Before beads, buried jewelry decorated the bodies of Africans, disintegrated with time like any other organic thing with a lifespan, leaving no evidence. Perhaps you are a rumor. Did you ever exist, or are you that feeling when people stop laughing as abruptly as one arrives, avoiding one's eyes? That inexplicable, slightly cooler current in a river or dam when swimming. You are the gleam of a dropped coin between the heavy plates of dangerous machinery, unattainable unless you want to lose a finger. When I set traps and wait for you, try to write you into being, you slip away, seducer with no substance, you perfume, you fantasy, you are in some other poet's pen, in their words, in some other lifetime. You're a dream that a stranger is having on a beach in another country. You're the shipwrecked Pope's golden chalice, seen now only by mute fish. You are as beautiful as grandmother's memory of the blue dress she was never allowed to wear. I
You, sorry, the stray silver ray of a moon I was too busy to notice. Honestly, I'm not even sure you ever existed. Direction without coordinates, dream without body, those lost poems, gone with hard drives and stolen computers, that poem I will attempt to find as soon as I stop this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Phillipa. I don't know who these are. Are they mine now? Is that how this works? I'm not saying anything. Oh, wow. Okay. Please, everybody, let us get ready for our next poet, a Capetonian turned Joburger, I believe, who does absolutely incredible work even outside of poetry. Please put your hands together for Roché Kester.
Time we lost in love with one another. Days we had pay the cost of losing heart's desire. So very soon.
So Vangi and I were talking about this week, and she said she's going to go into accountancy. I already have a day job, which I really like. So instead of poetry, I'm just going to start doing origami. It seems a safer art. It doesn't, like, maybe you'll get like paper cuts, but you won't have these many tears. No, but it was absolutely beautiful being here. This is what community looks like, you know. This is like a city built with poets, and what an experience that has been. Okay, so before my current vocation, I used to work as a hate crime manager for an organization called LGBTIQA, Out LGBTI. And it sounds weird, right? A hate crime manager, like I managed hate crimes. But in essence, what it entailed was literally people would report LGBTI hate crimes to me and discriminations on a daily basis. I used to get at least 5 calls a day, some of them horrific, some of them murders, some of them sexual assault, some of them verbal discrimination, some of them microaggressions, macroaggressions, you name it. And so every time I would look at my phone and someone would call, you know, it's either a life or death situation, because I may have been the only solution to the problem. But also it's that like, oh no, what now, you know? This month is Pride Month in South Africa. So we commemorate Pride Month in October because in 1990, a group of, well, then it was only lesbian and gays, now the acronym has stretched, right? So a group of lesbian and gays, they marched in the first Pride March in 1990, and part of that cohort was the Dr. Beverly Ditsi, who's one of my heroes, Justice Edward Cameron, who is a magnificent constitutional judge who was, and then also the struggle hero, Simon Nkululeko. And a lot of the queer history is not really known in our country, you know, and it's sad because we have to be hyper visible to just count in society, or we have to be dying. So I thought, I wrote this poem like now, but I thought I wouldn't do it right by my people. If I didn't say something about them. Origami, coming very soon. Okay, my partner is a lesbian. She wears this label with fear, as if they'd catch a whiff of her same-gendered affections. She has friends that have been murdered. A hate crime, they call it.
a message crime that desecrates the body beyond recognition, as if to say, you do not belong here. When we drive in an Uber, my lover calls me chomi instead of baby, like we are still hiding for safety, for the just in case. My friend is a gay man. When he enters the shop, people change their gestures. Their arms flail, their tone is high-pitched. They call him girl. He is not a girl, he is a man. Somehow turned caricature, as if his life is a performance, as if he is entertainment, as if he is so busy and is expected to be on, as if there are cameras. My friend is a bisexual. They don't believe he is. He can and should only be gay. He can't make up his mind, they say. He is minimalized as an after 9, accused of being greedy, accused of never being faithful. My friend no longer discloses his bisexuality and frequents on Grindr apps for preservation. My friend is a trans woman. Her documents do not match her appearance. The sex descriptor M has not changed to F. They stop her at the airport and ask if she has stolen someone else's identity. She cannot get a job because her degree is not in her name. Her dead name can only be changed if she goes on hormones. She does not want to go on hormones. She is erased even though she exists in flesh. My friend was born intersexed, a penis and a womb. Intersex does not exist on the population registration. Doctors decided they should be a he. They removed their womb. They initiated this baby on testosterone. Throughout their life, corrective surgeries is endured to fix the damage that was done to them as an infant. Bodily autonomy was not a concept for my friend. They were seen as a bad omen. They were spared their life. Many are not spared. Some are disposed of a month after birth. They are seen as witchcraft. I am queer. It is me. I have grappled with my sexuality like an invisible cloth that needs wringing out, trying to expel my desire as if it was water. I was told I could not like girls. I believed I could not like girls and stopped talking to them, looking at them, charming them. I resented myself and the men I chose instead. I induced my own trauma because I never owned the trauma of being told who I could not be. I have since learned to speak, to shout, to say, I am queer. I am here. I love like this, and this love is valid. My friend has left their country as a refugee. They have sought asylum in Mzansi. They had imprisoned him, probed his anal cavity to prove he is gay. He was locked up by his family, starved and beaten. He arrived with nothing here. There are no shelters for him here. GBV does not include LGBTI programming, despite the capital letters of our NSP. My friend is non-binary. We are at a public park. They want to use the bathroom. They are berated by children in the male bathroom, saying they do not belong there. They are given disgusted looks by women in the female bathroom, as if they do not belong there. There are no gender-neutral bathrooms for my friend to attend to in the park. They do not have dignity, even in trying to relieve themselves. When they see my lover and I, they ask how we have sex, what our bedroom activities look like. We are reduced to a fetish under a particular gaze. Lesbians are entertainment, gay men are viewed in disgust, trans people viewed as mentally ill, intersex folk as abnormal. When you say you have a LGBTIQA plus friend, a gay friend, a lesbian friend, a trans friend, a intersex friend, a non-binary friend, like it's like an annexure to cover up your homophobia or your transphobia. It is like saying I have a black friend when you are spewing racist commentary. When one of us dies, we ask, am I next? We call the deceased family. We become their family. We show up in court, we protest, we cry. And we hope and pray that this will not happen again, that our lives matter. In this community, my chosen family, I have been held and cared for and validated when I was told by my own bloodline that I could not be. The dance, the push for change in policy is decolonization of a people dubbed a crime pre-democracy. Be kind, be human, be love. LGBTIQ+ is not a buzzword. It is a cohort of people that hold humanity. Thank you.
Take me back to the distance.
Can we please hear it one more time, one more time? That origami is sounding really good. That origami might be a plan for me, honestly. Thank you very, very much. Absolutely. The next poet I would like to call up is a great friend of mine, an old friend of mine, a person who, when I first entered into this Durban poetry scene myself, was someone who was a friend and was a mentor to me as a young man, and has been absolutely incredible ever since. Please welcome my friend and an amazing poet, Thando Fuze. Let's hear it.
Dirty dancing in my room, and sending my love all over you.
Sanbonan, what an incredible week. When my mother pushed the envelope, her thoughts attempting to penetrate through the earth's crust, she collapsed. Not a word from her mouth, not a scream, just silence. Her struggle to lift up, stroke my sister's spirits, her umbilical pulled her to the bathroom. Her mother laid paddled, loose, childlike. You know that moment when you feel as though the earth has stopped moving, like the hourglass has just broken, but you are all that moves everything. So fast, it is almost still. Life came to a complete halt. I'm okay, she kept saying. Her affirmation sounded like a delayed reaction. Time had dragged her by the jaw and pulled her to stillness. My mother's body had never known weak or sick or can't get up, never known stiff or held up or can't do it. It had always known go. Don't stop. Said bodies are meant to keep moving, because joints seize up when chilled. Her hands had never been idle, lazy, had never had a place in her bones, just 6 decades of moving. My mother had always been as delicate as silk with skin, as thick as mink, and as tough as leather, and as a woman black, and always moving. What else could she be but a mix of fire and ice? She'd been burning since birth, a little light that grew into a flame. She'd been coming up hot, blazing through her adolescence, a heat that had my father caught, so him caught a breathing fire, but never could tame its flames. A glaring bloom of orange and dreamy blue. She'd always been sun and moon, always been the yin to her own yang, even after birthing little stars that attempted to steal her shine. She had lent them her sparks. We too now burned big. But her eyes is the chill that kept us from being wildfires that only know to torch and tarnish. She would catch our heat, blood boiling, would lay out her bones like wood, would catch the flames thrown from our mouths like lashes swung from our tongues, because she'd been shield and punch bag. She'd been rock and hard place. She'd been sister and wife, daughter and grandmother at the same damn time with 6 decades of packing. All she took in her strides, the leaps that never met her bounds, the bounds and her youth, all the deaths she had lived through, and the happy she had stashed beneath her wrinkles, been wrinkled by time's hands in the potholes where her heart sank. She'd sing when her heart sank, and even in deep thoughts, her spirits would float on musical notes, and she'd peak. She moved in song. Those songs set like convictions in the confession booth, because she'd been packing your storms and whirlwinds ever since tornadoes filled her lungs. We didn't notice her laughter turn clouds to dark smoke. Her chimney throat had been sending signals for a while. A voice box breaking into coughs in attempts to break into song. A moving pain soaring into her legs. Her brittle bones screeching at the knees. A raging fear that some of our pending dreams she may never see, her eyes, and the coat of haze over her sight. These were ailments we thought were God's oversight. I'm okay, she kept saying. How then do we not continue to burn when the source carried the baton with unbending faith, a cathedral of resonant prayers who held her amens as close as she held our spirits, little rascals who had rekindled her inner child, a jovial little girl of the Magaya clan whose jokes cracked on the growing funny bones of her grandchildren and the grace with which they carried her back to her youth. We were nursing her back to her youth, fanning her wood bones in hopes to see smoke, so we could once more camp around her fire.
Origami. Please, let's hear it one more time for Thando Fuze, everybody. What a day. What a day and what a week. Look at that. Oh man, everybody please put your hands together for a poet all the way from Catalonia. Paul, let's hear it.
Hi guys, how are you? Yeah. Well, thank you very much. It has been one of the most interesting weeks in my short life. I'm very grateful that you invited this young Catalan guy that doesn't know so much about life, and I learned so many things these days about you. Yesterday I published in the Catalan newspaper the story of your poem, Diana, so my people can know how poetry can be something powerful and something that not just powerful, but something that you change the world with. I would love to stay here ages so I could learn how every one of you are creating new possible worlds with your words. It's not possible, so I'm going to come back home with the feeling that we are doing something together. When I was thinking which poem could I read today, I think I'm going to read a poem that I have already read because now it has a new sense, because now it talks about you. So I'm going to read it again because I think that every time you read a poem, it creates a new sense. First in Catalan and then in English. Jo et diria, amiga meva, que no hi ha ni risc, ni mort, ni vida. Ni tampoc un altre astre on puguem desfer el camí, plantar de nou els plataners, plantar de nou les bugambilles, plantar de nou arrels molt fondes i fruits sucosos de vellut que facin els dies molt més amples i les nits molt més brillants. Però si no hi ha ni risc, ni mort, ni vida, ni tampoc un altre oceà on sucar el cos i no enfonsar-se, ni un altre cel on respirar i no desfer-se, escolta'm bé, que sols vull dir-te. Agafa fort aquest no viure i el seu arrossegar-se pels camins, agafa el fort i digues vine. Vine amb mi fins la fundària del glaçar, fins l'esvoranc del precipici, fins l'entrada del volcà, fins la punta d'aquell llamp i quan siguem just en el límit, deixem-nos anar la mà. Which means, I would say to you, my good friends, that there is neither risk, nor death, nor life, not even another planet on which we could melt away the path we have made and plant anew those trees, plant anew with deeper roots and sweeter fruit to widen the days and brighten the nights. But if there is neither risk, nor death, nor life, not even another ocean to wet our bodies and not drown, nor another sky to breathe from and not come apart. Listen well, as I merely want to say you. Hold on tight to this non-life and the constant drag up and down these roads. Hold on tight and say, come. Come with me to the depths of this glacier, till the gaping hole at the precipice, to the volcano's opening, till the tip of that lighting bolt. And once we are at the very edge, let go of the other's hand. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it one more time for Paul. Let's keep hearing it. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. And staying within that continent, we're gonna have some Scandinavian scripts, some Swedish sweets. That's as far as I could go with that. Started off so well. Everybody put your hands together for National Libre! There she comes. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going!
If you're waiting for Swedish sweets, you will be so disappointed. Ain't nothing sweet with this shit, but yeah. Yeah, so it was a tough one, like to decide which poem, although I knew which poem I wanted to read, but then I was like, I've been talking so much about the political situation in Stockholm and Sweden, and about like the far-right party becoming the next biggest party in Sweden, and it has become, it's scary. It's a neo-Nazi party. It's scary, and they are attacking. The Afrophobia is growing. The Islamophobia is growing. You know, and they are really like attacking people politically, and. So I'm gonna read two poems if it's okay. The The first one is called Stocktown Blues. Stocktown Blues. Railway dreams and gloomy visions and roots that are not rooted in your soil. Umbilical attachments, I breathe these streets. Concrete inhalations, every station has a blurred memory attached to it. This is a one-way trip to a center that is centered around neoclassical, rococo, and Renaissance. Delightful ambience where different periods of time collapse into each other, making my current surroundings a masterpiece for a tourist gallery, postcard fantasy, Stockholm. You are truly a rare Scandinavian beauty with a twisted soul. Soul-seeking quest in the middle of nowhere, where can I find someone like me? But this heavenly environment got me mesmerized, daydreaming whilst I walk on these boulevards, holding my mental and spiritual guard up high. Tired of this pressure of being better and stronger that makes me speak louder. My vocal cords are fighting the voice of European white money that echoes against these restrictive buildings. Buildings that are aligning themselves against me, against us, against liberty. I am chained to these streets, serving a city that shows no gratitude but demands me to be thankful. Powerhouses shout out senseless senses about unity, but do not make room for more than one identity. I need to escape this Stocktown tragedy. S-Town, Stress Town, move to the beat of the fast footsteps. My way back home, crooked back off, I am leaving to take my train to my sanctuary. My mind sings railway wagon blues as the tunnels guide my thoughts to the right direction. We are transported in this public transport archipelago where subway lines and train tracks connect the islands, isolated. For we live in the cracks between segregation and gentrification, between old and new and new and old. Storytellers from the periphery, raising their fists and their stories. Stockholm, do you see us? Do you hear our voice? Or must we raise the volume? Yes, thank you. A little sneak peek to the current situation. It's been like this for a while. So, I don't know how I can wrap up this week. It's been crazy, but crazy good, but crazy intense. And being like, becoming more and more of an introvert with age, woof, I've been hiding up there. But it has been amazing, and I'm so grateful for like the opportunity to be here. I just want to thank like Poetry Africa, but also hear my voice that took me here. You know, big up Hear My Voice, like Mo, for real. You're a sister. I love you, for real. Yeah. So I'm gonna read a poem that I'm not sure if I'm reading it anymore. But I read it the other day, and I wrote it on my way here. So it's called What is a Father? A love story got executed in the jungle. My young father, mi papa, beside a cold body, disfigured features, and the mental breakdown from the depth of hell. Jahannam. His present and future filled with bullet wounds nobody could heal. He told me that one day when I came back home from school, sitting in the most stereotypical of immigrant parent living rooms in the West in a cheap burgundy sofa in a space filled with colonial aesthetics and post-colonial pain. My father came clean and painted me with his anguish. I was a child, and at that moment, he was a child too. A scared young boy who rarely got seen or heard, a mischief and a revolutionary with savior complex, that was schooled in the name of empathy and justice, that he rarely got to feel himself. A child that dreamt of superpowers so he could fly, kick away the suffering from his mother's eyes, so he could save her from all the moments of torment that she inflicted on him, and my grandfather inflicted on her, and the torturing fascist soldiers that incarcerated my abuelo made him go through. Dolor, pain, that led my grandmother, abuela, to leave the children, a second exile, escaping to yet another foreign country, and then come back, because sometimes suffering and love live in the same household, and have mated, and have birthed unbreakable bonds that nobody speaks of, but everybody silently accepts. And in that way, trauma creates tracks that pass through generations. And my papa's childhood tears became street fights, became bloody knuckles, became broken doors and dinner plates, became metal household objects as weapons, became belt beatings, became constant nocturnal screams and cursed verdicts in Spanish. He punched and punished us. And in between the moments of total psychological rupture, he was a genius, a sensitive musician, and a comedian, singing and laughing away his anxiety, teaching us about la lucha, about philosophers and nuestra historia. He sang boleros and rancheras, óperas and salsas. He created bubbles of joy with his guitar that he then bursted with unprovoked anger that came from the extermination of safe and self. And that genius tried to crush my mother's spirit, tried to mute her voice, tried to kidnap her brilliance, underestimating her ways of warfare and survival, not understanding that she was a glorious mermaid who learned how to swim under tsunami waves long before his hurricane invaded her ocean. But this is not my mother's story. That is another poem. For she is a woman, the backbone of creation. She is earth, and this poem is flat. This is my father's piece of poetry. The big boy that became a minuscule man, the boy who did not survive, the boy that made sure to always remind us that for him, our presence was the symbol of his failures, piercing holes in our souls and then yelling at us for leaking energy, commanding us to smile for the guests, but not understanding that you cannot harvest happiness when the only thing that you have planted is grief. And that boy or man or the one that I used to call father told me his oldest daughter, su hija mayor, his deepest secrets that day when I came back home from school. And he made me swear on our holy Quran to never tell them to no living being. But here I am, breaking treaties and family conventions, because loyalty is no longer something I feel obliged to. Porque papá, you fought wars long after you fled them and made your children your enemies. You fed us despair, not thinking about the consequences, and not understanding that you cannot raise children as rebels in a guerrilla and make yourself a dictator, and then think that the revolution will never reach your walls. And with time, we revolted against the violence, against the double standards, against the lies, against escaping rage rants in pajamas, against locking ourselves into bathrooms and bedrooms. Papa, we won the armed conflict, and you became the villain and the victim in your self-inflicted war. And we left you as a shattered shadow in our past, and finally, learned the significance of peace. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Let's hear it. Let's keep hearing it. Thank you. As we keep moving, let us welcome on stage a person who was up here yesterday, and there was quite a lot of us who did not really understand a poem that he performed on the first round, simply because of the language. But everybody knew how great it was, because Mo Africa was losing it to the absolute dopeness, and we all had to understand. Please welcome the finalist, the great Jonathan Lefenya.
I want you, but I don't want your reasons why.
To my grandmother, your dry bones continue to grind themselves into seeds. I feed on you. You are growing on me. You have plowed this pain into a garden of laughter. Your voice grows in abundance. Your sight is a dying youth. Your pupils have raised to the edge of time. Your smile is my favorite sweater. I don you to the dusk of seasons. To my mother, I know that you are God, even when you spend most of your time praying for forgiveness. To my uncle, a wall only knows how to express itself by caving in. We've been suffocating beneath the rubble of your might. To my sister, your undying spirit has you wearing the noose on your head like a ponytail. This is your crown. You were declared a queen of a kingdom that lets you hang with friends, because to you, dying in the hands of familiar faces is the bravest way to go. I'm sorry. I once tried to help you rip it off your head. I now realize I was helping you kick the bucket that held your breath. For that, I'm sorry. To my lover, your heart is human. Your mind is a jealous God. Every time you confess to love someone with all your breath, it abandons the faith inside of you. A better half only means a greater part of yourself is unaccounted for. To my brother, you wear your childhood on your skin. You are the brightest blackout on the playground. Look at how your arrival lights up the room. To my son, when kissing your soulmate, the butterflies in your stomach will turn into vultures, scavengers feeding on your insecurities. Pet them. And to you, my friends, you say I'm the funniest person you've ever met. I am dying to tell you this joke. Thank you.
Oh man. Oh man. You know, and I've never really understood when, we'll call them the suits, but I've never really understood when, you know, people assume that poetry is not for young people, or poetry is not something that young people actively partake in when we have these kind of stories, these kind of things to tell, and it is absolutely amazing to hear every time. Please give it up one more time for Jonathan Lefenya. Love that. Please, okay, let's get ready to welcome our next guest on stage. Please welcome Jim Pascal Augustine from the Philippines. Let's hear it!
Stand. Can you stand the rain? Yeah, baby.
Sorry, I'm too short. I need to correct you there. I'm not from the Philippines. I'm from the Philippines and South Africa. I've been in Cape Town since 1994, so I've been in this country longer than when I've living in the Philippines. So I forgive you. I was trying to think of what to say before reading my work, and I had to write it on my hand. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who welcomed me here, for first inviting me here. I still blame Quaz for getting me here. I've been trying for many years to get here. I actually wrote to you guys and no one responded. And I gave up after like 2 or 3 tries, I gave up. And then suddenly there was Quaz. So thank you to everyone who said, yeah, I think Jim should have a chance to be here and torture you. I'm going to read what I just wrote, okay? I've never been loved like this for what I do that I think makes me me. In my country of birth, I actually am very bitter about them because they kept ignoring me through the years. And then it's just here really that I thought, wow, they embrace you in this country. So thank you very much. I was told I have 5 minutes, so I practiced so I could fit 5 minutes in reading these things, because it's not just one poem. And it might be my last chance to torture you, so I'll make the most out of it. Where I live now, we moved there 20 years ago. The first thing that happened was it rained, and it rained, and it rained. And because it rained, the millipedes walked into the house and invaded us. 2 poems about millipedes and something else. It's a war, I declare, and I have better weapons. I have to confess, I killed hundreds, perhaps thousands of millipedes when we moved into this house. They came in from under the door, at partly open windows, up drain pipes, through vents and cracks somewhere we desperately could not find. Each day, I swept them into shopping bags and threw them at the chickens. But none got pecked. The hens stared at them for 2 seconds, lifted one claw, then clucked, as if in disbelief at such an offering. I watched them writhe. They took time as their countless tiny legs made silent waves and their black bodies went upright. With their crawling, I found myself mesmerized by the fluidity of survival. They kept coming in, more and more of them, even through the night. Some wound their shell-like stillness under our blankets and pillows. Whorls of nightmares accidentally crunched when we turned in. Days became weeks, and I knew something drastic had to be done. I decided to buy death in a pressurized canister. I had the sense to put on goggles and a mask, knowing killing had to be done in disguise. Now we have the upper hand, but they are still around. My very first book to be published in South Africa is called Blood Red Dragonflies. It took 8 to 10 years before Robert Beryl, the publisher of Deep South, agreed to go with this. I kept showing him different manuscripts. One of them was called Crocodiles in Belfast, which has mostly political poems critical of the government. Here, it is a South African book, but a local publisher who asked me for revisions again and again eventually said, "Oh, we're not going to publish it because of economic reasons." I think they were scared of what was in it. So it was published in the Philippines. And then Vakololo Press offered to publish it in this country 2 years ago. And then Robert said, "Please, this has to come out first because it's a selected poetry." So I said to Given, the owner of Vakololo Press, "Okay, put it off for a while. Wait for Blood Red Dragonflies." By the time Blood Red Dragonflies came out, he had no funds, but he still wants to publish it. So if you want to help Given, owner of Vakololo Press, push him, give him some money so he can publish it finally. And maybe you guys can buy it. It's called Crocodiles in Belfast. The next poem is called Do Millipedes Bleed? The bathroom sink reflects a clinical glare from the white light bulb. Close to my toothbrush, a dark shape thicker than a string curved upward at one end. My hand quickly tries to reach for something, a comb, a slipper, anything to flick it away, perhaps crush it. Then, up close, I see it is hunched over a drop of water, drinking. Tiny feelers waving back and forth in a gentle rhythm. Minute legs, thin as the hair between my knuckles, quivering. I like to do voices, and the other night I did a weird voice. People laughed. This is called Like a Log.
I'm not going to tell you another story, my boy. You laugh too loud,
Grandfather said, as I begged. His voice sounded like it was coming from the village well before it was blasted. The stories he told came from a time when the sky was not yet something to be feared. His eyes, clouded with cataracts, only saw white shadows. But he could sense when someone was stirring awake. He began to fade into the damp wood. I whispered to him, "I am afraid of the dark and the sound of water splashing against the sides of the boat." Grandfather held my small hands and then patted the tied-up bundle Mother left me before they threw her overboard. The last one is called Snail Mail. It's, I don't know if anyone here is too young to know what snail mail is. You know, those things that need stamps. Okay. Snail mail. No one had called it that, not yet. For us, it meant taking time like drawing from a well that stood in the middle of a desert. We walked in daylight, knowing even if we reached the dust covered stones, picked up the dry bucket that lay upside down, and checked the rope. It may already be dark. Still, we unwound the creaking pulley, the echo of its way down like music from stones gently stroked in circles with moist fingers. The sound of wood touching water where we could not see. Then to haul back home what we have alone, but always less and less lonely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we hear it again for the South African poet, Jim Augustine? Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. This next poet is someone who, has charmed this place, this country, and this festival with his slam platform, with his poetry himself, but more than anything, with his dancing last night. Everybody, please welcome on stage Philip Meersman.
Hi. Yeah, what a week. Motherfuckers. Yeah, please adjust the camera because otherwise I will be on screen. Well, what to bring after a week like this? I had a confession. I had so many beautiful, fantastic encounters with people. I ate fantastic ice cream in Joburg. And I met so many beautiful people, and I could remember also one of my best friends who's not there anymore. And then, first of all, the second of all, because I was already with the first of all busy. So second of all, I truly want to apologize the Belgian delegation in total for being late, because we needed to attend to some medication for a patient who's now in his room, and for whom already twice an ambulance needed to come to sort of see if he is okay. So Wouter, we are thinking of you. But he's apparently okay-ish, we hope. Because, well, we don't have internet, so he can't contact us. So, like my mama said, no news is good news. Anyway, sorry. I had a request to do one poem, and I will do that. But I wanted to do this because this was written during another festival. And with all the things that was already said, I thought this is definitely something I needed to do. And thank you everybody for Poetry Africa, for getting us here, for being one of the best festivals in the world, basically. So, well, this one is called Origami Meditations. The kamikaze poet etches a haiku in his guts. The final phrases of the apocalyptic encyclopedia vomiting into the message bottle, in a bottle, in a bottle. The siren sings a lullaby of broken dreams as the phone rings in no sense orange, sprayed over the forests of forgotten words. The bee poems hum kindness, while baby phrases grow into novelties. A gossip ship embarks on a long journey home, there where punctuation grows. The architect thinks a brickwork of reasons, while a tsunami of concrete emotions is poured into the poor poet's mind. Please have mercy. Meditates the other loudly before descending into daily life. Killing minutes to deconstruct time, gathering the hangovers to revolt against the hammering banging onto the inside of my scraped skull. Clear perspective seems to be kindly folded between Ljubljana and Lisbon, Harare and Stockholm, River Valley and Barcelona, Manila and Joburg, Buenos Aires and... I can't read that anymore. Luanda, Yaoundé, and Rome, and Durban and Brussels. My mind is closing the gap faster than any vehicle can. There is us in we. There is mind in matter. There is only time to catch for us to be we. The Zen master teaches origami while time-space is spread out before us. Too long, too far, too wasted. We can only meditate the spoon, she whispered. The day after, missing the laughter, the bleak breakfast, the hangover headache, teaching Zen to repeated questions. The sea, the sea, the sea. Washing writers away onto distant beaches where words bathe in the semiotic sun, being refreshed by a dyslectic breeze. Time-space folded whilst the origami bird flies away. It's strange to get a request, can you do a poem? Sorry if I pass my 5 minutes now. Don't want to be disrespectful. But, I mean, if Sipindele says you need to do this poem, then who will not do that? Eh? So this one I did as a first poem when I was here in 2018. And there was this request. And I know that some of us that went to Brussels took Neuhaus to home. So this is for the people who don't know Neuhaus, Neuhaus is a brand of chocolate pralines. It's the oldest brand of chocolate pralines. And it's his wife that did most of the packaging things and sort of the first box where pralines is put in. And he was just making the chocolate. So this one is called Neuhaus. It's a list poem based on the names of the pralines in the box. Mille, 857, Adelson, Albert, Afro, Dit, Déco, Nouveau, Astrid, Baudouin, Belgischer, Trufel, bitte, Trufel, Block, Njandouya, Bonbon, 13, Canasta, Cappuccino, Trufel, Cariz, Aus, Marzipan, Cerisette, Cœur, Praliné, Cognac, Trufel. Thank you. Cornet doré, Criollo, Desdemone, Désir, Diana, Fabiola, Frère Desbois, Frédéric, Galerie, Grand Place, Horta, Jean, Café, Trufal, Caramel, Trufal, Louise, Madison, Manon, Choco, Café, Manon, Choco, Vanille, Manon lait, Manon noir, Manon sucre, café, Manon sucre, vanille, Méphisto, millénaire, millionette, napoléonnette, noix, Othello, pagode, paillette, passion, amande, passion, ganache, amer, plaisir, prestige, Sappho, Satan, séduction, speculatius, Trufel, summum, Suzanne, tentation, tiramisu, Trüffel, Troika, Trüffel, Ausch, Champagne Mar, Violata, Zenit.
I am very confident that this microphone is pregnant. I have to say it. I have to say it. I don't know if I am, but so if I'm not sure, then this mic is. Thank you. You know what? But I get it. I feel that way about tiramisu as well. Absolutely. Thank you. Please, let's welcome our next poet on stage, Usindi Swabusugu. Let's hear it for her. Let's hear it. Let's hear it up. There we go.
Across the wire, straight to the razor's edge for you. Cut through my own desires, only to watch you hold her. Don't you know I try to call back.
Gosh, I didn't know I was going to be called up now. I think I'll just read one poem, and I just want to say thank you so much to Poetry Africa, to the organizers, and to all of you for just being so warm and for having such a wonderful communal spirit. It's been a real honor, and I've been looking forward to participating in Poetry Africa for many years, so this is my first time, and it's been a delight. So I'm going to read something from a work that's in progress. It's a new work called And in Those Honeyed Regions of Darkness, and I will start with the opening piece. My mother was of the birds. I wait for her here, in the middle of the 8th month in a dark corner of a room, beneath an old broken down clock with no hands, upstairs in the screaming room, behind a locked door on the ripe side of her autumn bed, 4 red bricks beneath 4 wooden legs, dressed in my father's only funeral suit, barefoot, with trousers rolled to the knees, feet wet from hunger in the wet-nosed hour, listening for her. I thought I heard someone singing in the room of the one who conceived me. Behind me, the phone is ringing. I wait for her here, wriggling my toes. I slid the chair across the floor, wedged it up against the door, and held inside the little pouch. Inside the hollow book tucked beneath the embroidered pillow, I found the small white stones she left for me. I held the book a while, took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and swallowed all 3, and soon my teeth begin to chatter, and water runs through me, flows through the corridors, through many places where voices no longer carry. I leaned back, fell overboard, the bed swallowed me whole, and I waited a long time among a fever of stingrays, all mottled in electric blue, all shiny as silver spoons. Some surged against the cuff of my trousers, some sailed soft fins along the seafloor, others tried to burrow themselves beneath my anchor, and my slightest movement caused the fever to quiver, their bright wings causing the water to heat up and boil. I tried pushing up through the water for a breath of air, and high above, overhead, I thought I heard a knock at the door, and reaching up, pulling out from the water, and with a deep breath I crawled out of bed, stood upright on the polished hardwood floors and smoothed water out of my coat sleeves and straightened out my tie. On an armchair beside my bed sits a stiff-collared widower, keeping watch, dressed in grey tweed and turning the wedding ring on his finger, feet muddied from rain, and his face stained mauve by a birthmark that spilled from his temple. We don't talk much, but when the time comes, he says, "The motherless are here." Then, carefully, very carefully, he begins emptying sand out of his pockets. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cindy Sobsu. Now we are going to have a poet slash stand-up comic slash storyteller slash all these things, and he's absolutely incredible. Can we please have on stage Andrew Manyiga?
Oh, wow, that's the real song that doesn't end. Eh? That's the song that never ends. The reason why Mgarimba has not been seen since that song was released, every time a DJ plays it, it's not like we're playing a pre-recording. It just cuts to the studio where he's being held hostage and still singing Sister Bettina. Wow, I'm out of breath, I'm out of shape. Okay, here we go. So, Philip, I think you and this mic stand might be exclusive. Is it okay if I? All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So much, thank you. All right, so I struggled a little bit to find which poems I was going to read for you, and then Lydol was up here on stage, and then she said, I choose you. So thank you so much, Lydol, merci beaucoup, because that was the sign that I needed. So this first poem is the first poem that I started performing when I started writing 10 years ago, when I started performing 10 years ago. And to make it make sense, imagine it's a relationship, they're exclusive, but they don't have third-party insurance, and then a third party enters into the fray, and then now problems ensue. So it asks the question, what if sickness is the legacy of that? An hourglass, a pair of wayfarers, a chalice. Hold the image as the tale of the untold damage done to a wax-winged bird, bold in plumage, unfolds she plummets. As she's drifting on the ocean, tossed here by the winds of reason and there by the waves of emotion, she tweets to no avail, tries to speak, but does not prevail. As the tide breaks, she washes ashore, she's beached without a sail. We don't outgrow wanting to be touched. And she had never wanted it so much as she did as she waited on the silent sand to say that she could fly again. She lies in the sands and makes the mattress of the grains. With many hours past, she stands at last and shakes those grains into her hourglass and turns it. This is how her time amongst us begins. She has forsaken the form of the creature with broken wings. The bird has blossomed and become a human. Better yet, she has chosen the wayfarer form and become a woman in the meantime. I put my wayfarers on and I step to the stage because I'm a rapper and I spit with a rage. I scream, I say I'm ill. And I can only get iller. And ladies know love doesn't get much realer than in the arms of a legitimate lady killer. I'm like a lion in wait, but I pounce like Godzilla. As I step off stage, something brings her to my field of vision. As we speak, it clicks that she's here because she followed the links to my site. So I proceed to bind her to myself with a chain made of links to my site. I take my glasses off and let her in. Her hourglass turns. And this is how our time together begins. Months pass, but as we stand after I've caught her, it strikes me how she's such a lamb to the slaughter, a sheep in the big city, or as she puts it, pig city. So we're stagnant, static, but the electricity activates her sexually, and with my wayfarers on, I'm trying to sell myself this illusion that her way is fairer on a road with me, but I'm disillusioned. You see, love or piety won't let me be a Pharisee, and given how far I see, I recognize the truth and abandon the player's doctrine. And without getting a doctor in, I diagnose her heart's condition. She's in love. I try to stop it before she starts the mission, but I'm late. So before this becomes the tale of a tragic blossom, I try to pull her to the side and explain to her that due to the former exploits of what I thought was my Magic Johnson, I'm ill. And I can only get iller. And yes, perhaps love doesn't get much realer, but if you choose me, you make me a literal lady killer. Because what's eating at me is lying in wait, but it'll pounce on you like Godzilla. But it's like she's not listening. It's like she's playing at picking Pokemon, pointing a finger at me and saying, Godzilla, I choose you. The paradox of the innocent bystander is that there is no innocence in standing by. So I'm guilty because I don't drive home the point that due to what we've done, we are warming ourselves with the fires from the cool side of the sun. We are still burning, and her eyes are churning. And in trying to trace the trajectory of her tears, I lose my way because the lost and the laughter line still lingering around her lips. She's smiling. We don't outgrow wanting to be touched, but sometimes what we don't choose is by whom, where, or how much. I touched her heart and it splintered. She takes 2 shards. With the first, she clips her own wings and chooses to become earthbound. She abandons making bird sound. And with the second, she cuts a hole through her hourglass and turns it. And we stand watching our time running out. Finally empty. The hourglass has become our glass, a chalice. And from it, we both take sips. It's an act of love. It's done without malice. But as we do it, all dreams of the future are born, dance, and die in the mingling of our now mangled lips. Thank you. Something light. I enjoyed breakfast this morning, so I'm going to take you on that journey with me. This is called Ode to Bacon. Bacon, we never knew you. Yours was the sweet savor of a Saturday morning, scintillating scent transcending space and perhaps time, titillating taste, teasing tongue and perhaps mind, placed on plates while I cleared the palate. Amongst taste buds, you had pride of place, my mouth was your palace. Bacon, you who moved from forbidden fruit to breakfast staple. Oh, the hopeless emptiness when you were absent from the breakfast table, devoured in a flurry of gobbledygook which howled and munched and gobbled. Now look, all that remains is a plate marked with grease stains and the unspeakable question lingering in our brains. Does it really come from a pig's rear end? My dear, dear friend, Bacon, we never knew you, and perhaps that was for the best. Thank you. My last poem is called Goodbye. But before I say it, thank you so much, Poetry Africa. Being here is a dream come true. Even people from home are calling just to say how much they're enjoying watching and streaming. So thank you to the person. All right, you can go ahead, but goodbye. Word built like granite, granting more of take than give, made with more of die than live, leaving. Bitter aftertaste after every time I depart in haste, leaving. Leaving often, often never feeling the full force of departure, fearful that underneath it I would come undone, that I would splinter and break, that I would shudder and shake, that I would stumble and fall, that I would crumble, and all that would remain in my wake is smithereens and splintered dreams and crimson streams and little things, a collage of brokenness. So I steal myself away, steal myself, counting down the days. We will see each other again. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Poetry Africa. Have a good time.
Oh, that's what's up, Drew. That's what's up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know if you heard Andrew's first poem. What was your first poem? Roses are red. You heard that? What were you saying? Absolutely amazing. Let us have our final poet now. Everybody, please put your hands together for a local poet who has been absolutely amazing for as long as I've known her, and she will definitely wow you again tonight as she has this week. Please welcome Nkululeko Mhlanzi.
Turning my tears into diamonds that fall through your sky. And after all that you promised, all I ever wanted was you.
Sanbonani. How is everyone? Okay. tired. Confusion strikes. Confusion strikes. This life is hard. Confusion strikes. Confusion strikes. This life is hard. Confusion strikes. Confusion strikes. This life is hard. Confusion strikes. Confusion strikes. Make me forget what the sun in your physique looked like. The warmth that conjured your voice when you spoke towards me. Make me forget. The giggles you plucked out of my blaring esteem, they now smile at me like an angry monster, waiting to eat me back into my dreams. Make me forget how you forged and stopped the time and showed the next tick rings along with the curving of your arms to hold me. Make me forget how we picked our first fruit, my anxiety and pain upon receipt, how you held my shaking limbs with care and favor. Make me forget how I held on to all your promises that came in beautiful carriages, a promise ring and livestock. They were supposed to be the honor of your love until you uttered it would never reach completion. I was puzzled that you thought my lineage deserved half your honor for the hand of their daughter who poured her whole self into your idea of the future. Make me forget how I had to pay all my dues to you as your wife. A long list about how to love you and every shadow that follows you. Make me forget how I started forgetting myself because of the list. The one thing that needed my body and full self to be done. How I always found a job somewhere inside me so you could quench some thirst because a man must burp. How you would tap my shoulder, well done. I knew I had done well. Make me forget how you forgot to pour me back when I became your mother. How you wrote poems about the mystery of the woman I had become and forgot to tell me not to look for that woman in your eyes when you walked off stage. Make me forget your mother. And make me forget how we found out we had planted another seed, how thorny the journey. Before our eyes learned it was roses this time, how I knew I would further forget myself in their petals. And that list, how you forgot me once more. Make me forget you and all your kingship that would entertain the pride it harbors by patronizing what's perceived to follow. Make me forget my emotions, how much of a fool they make out of me at each mention of your name. Make me forget what the sun said about what you had done that one night after the funeral. Make me forget how you forgot me. I'd like to forget why I left, although the reason sits anxiously beneath my throat, as if guarding my tongue not to spit one more word about my forthcoming demise, because I'm the victim of all ages, right? As if nothing else could describe me for complaining about the heat of the fire that started to burn my bosom. You lit this fire and silenced me. I sat with it. You know I tried. Because you love me. Because I love you. Make me also forget how you slammed my mother's door. Because I had pushed you that far. I had also burned a plant you cast in your yard. One that you praised when you hung with the legends of jazz and smoke. Make me only remember that you left way before I did. And make me forget that you are human too. And in your quest to gather yourself, you will forget that someone somewhere longs a sincere I'm sorry. Make me forget you. This life is hard. Confusion strikes. Confusion strikes. This life is hard. Confusion strikes. Confusion.
I know you believe you have given a round of applause to Nkululeko, but I know you want to do it again. Please give it up one more time. One more time for Nkululeko Mhlanzi, everybody. And now, regather your energy to give the biggest round of applause to all the poets you witnessed, not only today, but this week. Let us hear a huge round of applause for everybody, every single person who graced the stage. We are so thankful to all of you, every single one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you for having me tonight on this very special day, of course. Now, to give all the thanks to all the people who deserve it, please, one more time, let us welcome Dr. Ismail Mohammed upstage. Please, let's give it up.
Thank you very much. I think first round of applause to you for program directing it and keeping it so well. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep this one very short because I think we've said it all week. So, ditto, thanks to everyone again. Philip, this one's for you. It's now up for auction, so if anyone wants it. So if you need it, you can come and grab it. It's up for auction. Jim, and to many more poets who may have written to us in our inboxes and who may have wanted to be at Poetry Africa in the past and who may have not received responses or could not be on our platform, our sincere apologies. We try as often as possible to want to broaden our program to include as many poets, artists, writers, dancers, filmmakers in our 7 festivals. We are governed by enormous constraints and so forth. I can assure you that not anyone in our office would not respond to an email deliberately or whatever. But if that has happened to anyone, we do apologize. But we encourage all of you to continue writing to us, nag us, telephone us, grab us in the street if you see us, and tell us. This festival belongs to you, the artists. And in this week, we've done an enormous amount of unlearning, which is so very, very necessary. We've needed to unlearn so much. And thank you to all of you for sharing, for confronting, for sometimes being harsh and blatant with your words, but also sometimes just with enormous amount of gentleness. We've seen a range of emotions this week. I don't think there's any way to adequately express our appreciation to you. Earlier this evening or this afternoon, we heard the name Bev Ditsi. And we're incredibly proud that Bev Ditsi was the recipient of our Artfluence Human Rights Festival Award, the Artfluence Human Rights Award at the festival this year. For us, positioning our festivals as a platform for human rights, for social justice, is incredibly important. At a time where our constitution still stands high, but with the values of our country, where moral leadership has almost collapsed, where we're all sitting in a state of confusion and turmoil, and confusion was just the right word, we need to be able to find nodes of connection, nodes of entry, nodes of touching base. And to all of you who've been courageous enough, who've been bold enough, who've been just so generous enough to share your words with us, thank you very, very much. Very often it was in the silence that so much more was communicated. It was in the silence when you walked up the stage, when you walked off the stage, when you took the moment of pause, that so much more was being said in our heads as listeners. So thank you very much for that. We have one final event left tonight, which is at the Elizabeth Snedden Theatre at 6 o'clock. It is a ticketed event. We do have tickets for all of you. It is going to start promptly at 6 o'clock. The theatre is rather rigid about its times. The Snedden Theatre is on the campus. So what I suggest we do is that we go off to the CCA to have a quick dinner and then walk off to the theatre. We do have a ticket for every single one of you, including members of the audience who are here tonight in addition to the poets. We will have a ticket for you for the ballet. It's the Joburg Ballet Company doing a interpretation of Dante's Inferno, and thereafter we will gather at the hotel where we will continue to celebrate, connect, eat, drink, do whatever we need to do till the late hours of the night. And then, of course, tomorrow some of you will be leaving. Travel safely. To all the audiences who've been with us, thank you very much. To the team at the CCA, I don't think... I don't think there's enough I could say to thank you for the work that you've done. You know, when Siphokazi said to us she's going away for 3 weeks to Belgium, we almost freaked out. A month before the festival, you're going off to Belgium. But we had an enormous team held together by Siphokazi from Belgium. Kwaz, I cannot thank you enough for being on our team this year. You and Karen, Ijumba have been phenomenal. And I think what we've proven is that when we join hands and we join people, we can do so much more. We can look beyond what we normally look at. We go beyond the templates, and we can begin to open up doors in so much more ways. To all the interns, and I'm going to speak to each of you in the week, but thank you very, very much for all the work that you've done. We would not have been able to do it without you and your support. And the fact that you could do this without being micromanaged, you took control and you said 10 minutes and we had to shut up and sit down. You said close doors and we had to close doors, but for just running with it and taking control and making it all happen for us, that's incredible. Because next year, with the next Poetry Africa Festival, Siphokazi and I are going to be World Slam Poetry Competition, so carry on and make it happen. Okay. but with that, thanks a lot to everyone for every part of your contribution. Roland, you were not here yesterday when we said thank you to everyone. Roland was running project managing the production that we saw, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So thank you very much to you as well for the work that you've done to keep that production going. With that, once again, thanks to all of you. We'll see you all at the CCA for dinner, and from there we'll be going off to the Elizabeth Snedden Theatre with the show starting promptly at 6 o'clock. It's a 1-hour performance, and we'll meet then at the hotel to say our final goodbyes and hugs and kisses and so forth. Thank you very much. The hanky, I'm serious, the hanky is an auctioner.